Time now to get you an update on the Club World Cup. And whether it's Inter Milan or Inter Miami, Paris Saint-Germain is up to the task at cup competitions. PSG scored 4 goals in the first half in Atlanta en route to a 4-0 win, where João Neves had a first-half brace. Champions League winners will face the winner of Flamengo and Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals. And for Messi and company, that is an exit from this summer's tournament. I'm Tommy Tran, joined now by Jimmy Conrad, our soccer analyst and former men's national team member. So at least the build-up, Jimmy, was full of hype and maybe hope from an Inter Miami perspective. What did you make of the game today?
Well, I think there's two ways of looking at it, or two different lenses, I should say. The first is PSG. For me, probably the best team in the world right now at the club level. They don't have any weaknesses. Defensively, they're so sound, and when they press the ball, they're all moving together. And this is after they shed a lot of their superstars, right? They had Kylian Mbappe that was going to lead them to the promised land, along with Neymar and Messi and Sergio Ramos. It's once those players left that they started to become that collective that I think really displayed itself today and then throughout the European season as well, which led them to the Champions League. There's no shame for Inter Miami. Let's pivot over to them in this one, because Inter Miami, listen, Atletico Madrid lost to PSG earlier in this competition 4-0. Inter Milan, as you mentioned, lost to them in the Champions League final 4-0. And now Inter Miami just happened to lose to them 4-0. It's almost a badge of honor at this point, Tommy Tramp. But it just really showed how dominant PSG are in so many facets of the game. So fair play to them. Inter Miami, from an MLS perspective, I just think it shows that there might be some conversations that need to be had if MLS wants to continue to get into the conversation as one of the top leagues around the world in terms of opening up the salary cap, allowing them to get more depth. I mean, they just didn't have the quality that they needed to compete against the world's best.
Yeah, they'll have some games in hand back domestically for MLS. I'm talking about Inter Miami in that Eastern Conference. By the way, we know that there was going to be some goals had, but as a defender by trade, were you disappointed about some of the ones that were given up in that first half, Jimmy?
Wow, you're trying to trigger me here, Tommy. Of course I'm disappointed. I mean, just listen, when you're going up against a team of this type of quality and this caliber of PSG, you have to be inch perfect in a lot of different ways. And where I was a little disappointed, and Miami's not set up this way, is they don't have the horses to go and press. But Botafogo beat PSG earlier in this tournament because they just had guys that were running hard, pressing high up the field, and making it difficult for PSG. When you have a Messi, when you have a Luis Suarez, these guys are just a little bit older, never really were known for their pressing anyway. And then Jordi Alba and Busquets, you have these guys in their mid-30s. It's just going to be hard for them to do that consistently. And then when you get those pockets of space that PSG can exploit, it's just going to make it a long day. So Busquets gave a ball away. One of the best players in the world at holding the ball under pressure. Gave up gave up the ball that led to a PSG goal that kind of opened up the floodgates right before halftime. And so that's probably my most disappointing, is that a player of his quality should know better. But, you know, what are you going to do? PSG, again, one of the best teams in the world, and demonstrated it again today.
Yeah, you're very bullish on this Parisian side, one of the favorites to win it all, along with Manchester City and Real Madrid. By the way, you and I have not spoken since before the Club World Cup took place. I don't know how bullish you were on this tournament, Jimmy, but now that we're in the knockout stage, where are you at in terms of the validity of this tournament? Do you think the teams have gotten up for these competitions as we've gotten to the round of 16?
Yeah, overall, I have a net positive feeling about this tournament. Obviously, I wish ticket prices were a little bit lower so that more people could go and afford it, right? This game is for everyone. It shouldn't be just for people that have a whole bunch of money. So I want to make sure that that's put in place and being said publicly. Also, I think this is a nice precursor for the challenges that the World Cup is going to face next summer. So the heat, weather delays, all these little types of things that maybe they weren't prepared for now can give them a year to kind of think, how do they want to manage these situations? So there's a lot of logistical stuff that I like. I think the level of play has been good, and it's only going to get better as some of the top teams clash later on in the tournament.
All right, Jimmy Conrad with a breakdown. Still a lot left to be played in the FIFA Club World Cup. Bye, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy, of course, a regular contributor here on HQ, as well as the Golazo Network, 24/7 news, highlights, and live matches on Pluto TV and the CBS Sports app, and, of course, always streaming on Paramount+.